Again, we'll go with what's next in the series, which is the PS3. So we have, for this one we need a traditional like PC power cable. Go ahead and slide that guy in there. And then you can either use HDMI or the AV multi-out. For where I'm at right this second, it's easier to just use the AV multi-out. But I will test both. Toss that over there for a second. Alright. I don't actually know if a PS4 controller will work on a PS3, but my PS3 is one of those consoles that I lost at a certain point in my life a couple years ago. So, I don't have the option. So we're going to try a PS4 controller. I don't even know if this thing's going to boot, so I guess the controller doesn't matter if it doesn't boot. Alright. We get any idiot lights? I don't see any. Reorient you guys. Alright. I don't see any lights. And it's been quite a while since I've used the PS3, but I do recall lights turning on. Oh, so there's a switch on the back to flip the switch. Oh, can you see that? We got a power light. You can't really see. Got a power light there. So that's a good sign. Oh, I did the thing. She made the noise. Oh. Got excited there for a minute, guys. So it went green, and then it beeped 3 times, and now it's flashing red. See, it's flashing red. Let's try that again. I'll hold it up for you this time. So power off. Power on. Green. Yellow. And then flashing red. Alright, so now that that happened, I do remember the seller saying that. It's just been a while since I looked at that listing, and I kind of forgot about it. So, and put that one aside. Alright, we're back with the PS3. So, it's been a while since I worked on this video last. So just to catch you up to date, I bought this off of eBay or Goodwill or something, I don't remember. But it has the yellow light of death. It came in halfway decent condition. It does look like I am not the first person to open it. So the warranty sticker there is gone. You can see the words void here. And that screw is also missing. It didn't come with a hard drive. So I'll show you what it does. Like I said, it's got the yellow light of death. Oops, sorry about that. So we'll turn that on. And you can see right about there, This is a red light. Okay, so turn it on, it goes green, yellow, red. That's it. Bring you up top here. We get nothing on the TV. And it'll just blink red forever. So, take this little guy, or giant guy, put him on the coffee table, aka the workbench, and take her apart. He is on the bench. Let's get to it. So, it's been probably 12 years or so since I took one of these apart. Something like that. So I don't remember nothing. That's already off. I believe that allows me to slide this. Yep, slides that way. Okay, there's that. Definitely going to give that a clean. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 7 screws. And they're all Phillips, so that's nice. And yes, I'm using a drill. It's not a big deal so long as you don't crank and yank. And if I remember correctly, there are a couple different sizes, maybe just 2 different sizes. So far, it just looks like 2. Alright, this is the last one. Appears to be so, and that one's going to be tricky. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 big ones and 1 small one. And that should allow me to lift off part of it. I don't remember which part. I don't remember quite how this separates. This part here is wanting to come off easy, but not so much here. Oh. Just clicks right in there. Tip her up. Oh, there we go. It looks like it swings like a hinge. Okay. You see you got your power button here. Routes over to this side. Well, this just kind of fell off. So I wonder, could this be the problem? This is the power supply. Like I said, I'm not the first one in here, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? It's very dusty in here. So you can see this ribbon cable was unplugged. It's a little important there. So let's get her back in. Oh, and I just broke it. Wow. Man, these things are so fragile. So if you guys are doing this, don't do what I just did. Sorry if my head's in the way, I'm just trying to make sure that's all the way in there. Maybe it was partially broken already and that's why it came off like that? I don't know. Maybe I did it, who knows? Oh. I pull it out some. The problem is I can't tell if it's in or out. Feels like it's in all the way if I keep it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry it over to the TV just like this, and I'll meet you guys back over there. And we're back over here, plugged in precariously. Turn the TV on. Get you guys a little bit more light there. Should be good. Yeah, that's better. All right. So it's plugged in, just gotta flip the switch on the back. Okay, I do have a light. It's green and red. I don't even think it went yellow that time. Try that again. Green. It looks like it does flash yellow again, okay. Alright, so we know that that probably was not the problem. Yeah, because it looks like it's in there pretty good. Alright, back to the table. So, that didn't solve it, so we're back at it. What I'm hoping here is, even though I'm not the first one inside this console, I'm hoping they just tried something simple and gave up. So this comes undone, and that just comes right out. all the rest of those seem to be connected okay. So set that aside. Oh, actually that's not the power supply. I'm a little off there. This is the power supply. That was just the Blu-ray drive. So that should still work. I don't think that's the problem. Unplug these. That's the power supply there. Unplug it from there. You can just pop that off. Pop that off, pull it away. That's unplugged, that's unplugged. Since it's been forever, I'm not even sure which screws need to be taken out. Looks like these two. Not sure if you can hear my bird in the background, but sorry about that if you can. He's squawking away. All right, yep, so that was it. So here's the power supply. There you go. So DC out is 12 volts, 2.35 amps, 5 volts, 0.6 amps. Model number APS-231 on my particular model. You can see it plugs into those posts there. Alrighty. What I'd like to do is just pull this whole thing out. But I'm not sure which screws hold it down. I'm going to guess that this is one of them. Back here. That one has a red marker on it. Odd. Probably this one here too. Yeah, feels like it's coming out. Ah, these. Wasn't sure if that was going all the way through to something on the case or if those were required to get this part out. Looks like they are. And you should be able to see that they're all labeled for different things. So, get you in close up here, you can see probably just barely. Right here, There's a little symbol for the ground screw. And you can see this arrow here is pointing to that screw. There's a couple more over this way. So you can see here there's an arrow, here there's an arrow. Not sure what those are telling us. Probably important though. Suppose we'll find out later when I stumble through putting this back together. But that's the whole deal here is I don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun. And I have had some success. So why not continue? Now this, something feels stuck. Wonder if you have to take these out, I can't remember. The one that I took apart, whatever I said, 12 years ago or whatever, that one, I did the whole hairdryer deal, and it did work. I don't remember for how long. It wasn't very long, if I recall correctly. And I've since learned that it could be the capacitors for the graphics card causing the problem. So I do have new capacitors. I'm just going to take these off. I do have new capacitors to replace it, so that's good. And from this side, I believe it's this one that's the GPU. But I have new capacitors, I got some thermal paste, got some flux, so we're ready to rock. What if I just tip it over? Can I see what it's stuck on? Because I can't remember, but it could just be the thermal paste holding it together at this point. It does feel like it's stuck up here somewhere. Right in the front. Supporting it just in case it falls. Oh, there we go. Ah, that's what it was. So it's just this little peg here that was stuck. That's all. Set that aside, give it a nice scrub. Get over to the back. Here's the fan. In case you want the model number for that, it is... Probably not going to be able to read that. It is model G as in Gary, 1, 4, T as in Tom, 1, 2, B as in Bob, S as in Sally, 1, A as in Alfred, F as in Frank, dash 5, 6, J as in jump, 1.14. And it's 12 volts DC, 1.75 amps. And in case you forgot who made it, it's Sony Computer Entertainment Inc. So these pieces, there's some more arrows here, so maybe that's how you get this guy apart. It's one thing I do not like about taking the PS3 apart is the ribbon cables. And as you can see, I broke that little piece of plastic and was not being very rough. But they're just fragile. Get that out. Move it out of the way so I can get this. This may be just to access the fan. Yep. And you can see it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 fans. Or 15 fans. 15 bleeds. It does say NIDEC. NIDEC. So that's that. Don't see any more screws on this side. Man, I do see a lot of dust though. So go back to this side. I don't remember if this whole thing... Oh, yep, just pull backwards and that part comes right off. So, how do we get the rest of this apart? Maybe you gotta take this guy off, which I was hoping not to. Not for any major reason, just that one less thing I have to remove is one less thing I have to worry about putting back in correctly. You can see that pulled right out. Whoever did this did not lock these back, that's for sure. So this little latch here, I believe they're called bails. That's what holds the ribbon cable in place. And that's what I broke on the other one. So what you're supposed to do is just lift it up, insert the cable, they can be little buggers. And then close and lock the bail like that. And then it should stay in there pretty well. Not even sure what this does. This, maybe it's Wi-Fi? Yep, right here. Up here in this corner. It's ANT1-WLAN. information, just in case you need it for something. From here, how do we get this apart? You can already see it says NEC token. Those are the capacitors that I'm hoping cause that problem. I have seen that online. MyMateVince was actually the first one that I saw do it. So if you haven't seen his channel, definitely go check that out. It seems like a very good, down-to-earth kind of guy. And he's definitely an inspiration for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people. He actually, in his video, gives you the link to the Reddit article where he found the subject, and also to a further article that says that that original article he was talking about, or he referenced, is nonsense, but it worked for him. So I believe this is supposed to just pop right off. It's not this screw, it doesn't go into anything, that's just a ground. Might just be this tab here. I think those will just flip up. Yeah, there we go. Just wheel it out just like that. Cool beans. And from this side, I can't again tell which one is which, but one of these is the GPU and one of them is the CPU. To get to the other side, this is where I believe it's just a thermal paste holding it on. And this little peg I think is just for alignment. I don't see any screws or anything. Yep. Felt that pop. Or that release of suction there. I believe it's just the thermal paste releasing. You know, when I took the other one apart forever ago, I believe I broke one of those plastic bales on that one too. You just don't seem to be my friend. Maybe we should have a discussion in the comments about how many of those people have broken. Numbers have got to be pretty high, right? Can't be alone. Alright, so you see the thermal paste here. and it's still pretty, well, some of it's wet. Like somebody took it apart and tried that. Which means they probably tried the hairdryer trick. And it didn't work, so they gave up. But what we're worried about is these capacitors here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some alcohol. I'm going to clean those off. Look up real quick which one's which. Well, I'll be able to read it once I get the thermal paste off. But I think you just have to heat the plastic top off and pull it off. But let me research that real quick and get some alcohol for that. We'll be back. Right, back with all the kit, and it does appear that the one on the left, looking at the top of the board like I am now, this one here is the RSX chip. This is the cell processor, which is essentially the CPU of the PS3. So we're looking at that one. When we flip it over, it's going to be the reverse. But before we do that, gotta get the goop off of there. Just got some 91% isopropyl alcohol, some paper towels. The best type of IPA. Actually, I have no idea. I'm allergic to gluten, so I can't drink beer. Somebody in the comments tell me, is IPA as good as everybody makes it sound? Or is it one of those cool things for the hipsters that nobody actually drinks when they're alone? Or maybe they only drink it when they're alone. I don't know. I don't think I know anybody that likes IPAs actually. But I don't know many people that drink beer. Or I should say that are like beer connoisseurs or that drink craft beer, except for my one cousin. I have no idea what he drinks. I think most of my friends just drink like Bud Light or whatever. If they even drink beer. Alright, so yeah, I can see now it does say RSX. I'm not sure if you guys can see that quite yet. But RSX is indeed the graphics processor. I mean, yeah. See that? How about now? Shut off one of these lights here. Not quite, huh? How about now? There we go. RSX. I wouldn't steer you wrong. Never steer you wrong, fam. I got you. Looks like I got a little bit of thermal paste on here. And who knows what this person used that was in here before me. Could be electrically conductive. Really don't think that a tiny little bit's going to do anything, but one never knows. And since I'm here, I might as well get it clean. Make sure we're recording. Yep, we're still recording. Good. Definitely got a lot on here. More is not always better. In fact, most of the time you want a nice, even, thin layer versus a big glob. So, since this is PS3 day, what are some of your favorite PS3 games? Or what were? I'm super excited because I recently ordered the God of War collection, the remastered one that has 5 games. I believe it's called the Saga collection, if I remember correctly. And if you're not familiar with that, it's the first 3 games, as well as the 2 PSP games, I believe, which is awesome. I played and beat the first 3 games, but I never owned a PSP. So I didn't even get a chance to play the other ones, let alone beat them. And they're all remastered in their 2000s, whatever, PS3 graphics. Should be here Monday. So that'll be awesome. Good grief. Goodbye and good riddance to whatever that person used on there. Alright, so I'll worry about the other things. Worry about the cover later. Right now I just wanted to get it off the chips so you can see. Maybe. Well, you can't see it very well, but it says Sony Computer Entertainment Cell /B.E Cell Broadband Engine. And the the RSX chip says reality synthesizer. Cool. So that's all cleaned up. I'll go this way. So that means the RSX chip is now on the right. And hold on just a second, go figure out my dog's freaking out. Right, apparently it was the trauma of being out back and not in the house where he wanted to be. So, I said it was the one on the right. Yep. So that's going to be these two here. Yeah, right there. And essentially, you just heat them up and pull those bad boys off. So I just have a heat gun here, Seacone, Seek 1. It's got adjustments on the back, and it has interchangeable tips. So I definitely have never done this before, but we're just gonna go at it. We're gonna go ham. Or vegan ham in my case. I'm not a vegan, I just don't eat meat. Let me go see, what do I need? Oh yeah, the flux. Be right back. Back I be. So, I found flux. It's just MG Chemicals, no clean flux paste. It comes with a nice little plunger and syringe. And the thermal paste of choice, Thermal Grizzly Cryo Knot. So that'll be for later. Open this little blister packet. Alright, so I have very little soldering experience and actually zero experience using flux because the flux pen I ordered was completely dry. So, if you're attempting this, hopefully your experience is better. Alright, so this little cap just pops off, gives you access to where the plunger goes, and I suppose I'll put the needle on. Came with it, why not, right? Alright, here we go. So I'm going to start with this side here. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just trying to start it on a paper towel just to see how much it decides to come out or doesn't come out. Ah, there we go. Okay. So you do have to give it a good amount of pressure. Like I said, I've never used it before, so I don't know how much is... I don't know the correct amount to apply. No, it's not entirely necessary to use flux, but from what I've seen, it does make everything a heck of a lot easier. And my theory in life is if you're a noob at anything, you should probably get all the help you can. Alright. Zoom in a little more here. Get you right over. Okay, so turn the heat gun on. So pretty low heat, so I'm going to crank the heat up. Nice thing about this gun is it has low air, high air, and temperature adjustment. What would be fantastic is if I had a little place to set this. So I'm probably, I don't know, 2 inches away. Backed up a little bit to maybe 4 inches. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure. With the tweezers. Give me an idea of when it's ready to come off. Turn heat down just a little bit. It seemed like it was pretty hot. So this board is pretty thick, and it's pretty good at wicking away heat. So it's going to take a little while. May need to use some more flux. May need to get closer or further away. Like I said, I've never done this, so I'm not sure. It does get pretty hot though, that's for sure. Right, so nothing seems to be happening. So what I'm going to do, turn the heat back up a little bit. I'm going to set this down for just a second. Nothing seems to be happening. So once I turn that back on, I'll turn the heat up. Add some more flux. There we go. So again, I have very limited soldering experience. My understanding is, or desoldering experience for that matter, my understanding is a flux just serves as sort of a conduit to encourage the solder to flow where you want it to go or don't want it to go. Or no, rather, want it to go whether you're soldering or desoldering. I think my tip got clogged. There we go. Holy moly, this is tight. There we go. Of course it went somewhere else, but it's not going to hurt anything, and we're going to clean it up afterward anyway. What are you barking at, Baxter? Alright, turn it back on, and I turn the heat up. Again, I'm not sure, but I would imagine that heat is probably more important than airflow. So I'm still going to keep it on low. Applying pressure. Still nothing. Okay, so this is going to be the end of the first part of the PS3 capacitor replacement video. So as you can see, I'm using some heat, and it's give me a lot more trouble than I thought it would. But right towards the end here, I get the lid of the first capacitor off. And I guess you'll just have to stay tuned and figure out how far I get. So this will be the end of the first part, like I said. And the second part should be up shortly after this one. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. And make sure you come back so you can help me make, modify, and motivate in the future right here on Makes and Mods. Peace.